Imagine waking up to a Britain utterly transformed overnight, a nation glued to their screens as the UK's highest court, in a stunning break from tradition, directly accuses Prime Minister Keir Starmer of financial impropriety on live television. Before we unravel this bombshell, where every detail gets more jaw-dropping, do yourself a favor, hit subscribe right now because this is the kind of political earthquake you'll want front row seats for, and you won't want to miss a single twist. The Chief Justice, Dame Sucker, didn't merely issue a dry legal statement. She looked straight into the camera and laid out a shocking catalogue of secret gifts, suspicious property sales, and a pattern of deception so sweeping that it's left Parliament and the public reeling. How deep does this go? What's hiding beneath the surface of those immaculate press conferences and carefully worded Labour manifestos? The court's findings, backed by months of forensic investigation and whistleblower leaks, paint a picture of a leader who campaigned on old-fashioned virtue yet allegedly pocketed hundreds of thousands in undisclosed perks, Rolex watches, designer suits, even trips to European resorts bankrolled by powerful donors. Could a single email, one thanking a media baron for the suit fit for my victory speech, bring down a government? And just days after that generous gift, Starmer unveiled new tax breaks for media giants. Coincidence, or something darker? The ruling stopped short of calling it bribery, but the implication was clear enough for even the most loyal Labour backbencher to go silent, their support evaporating in real time. Across the benches, Conservatives called it a national reckoning, while stunned Liberal Democrats demanded an emergency inquiry. But here's the real kicker: the scandal didn't begin in the corridors of Whitehall or the pages of tabloid exposés. It started with a lone civil servant, an HMRC whistleblower, who flagged discrepancies in Starmer's tax returns. What began as a footnote quickly widened into an investigation uncovering more than £300,000 in undeclared gifts and questionable land deals. Are these simply accounting oversights, or deliberate acts to hide the truth from a nation weary of broken promises and elitist double standards? The Supreme Court's ruling, though lacking the power to dethrone a sitting Prime Minister, fired the starting gun for a political freefall. Within hours, resignations rocked the Treasury, cabinet members wavered, and Starmer's approval ratings nosedived. Public trust in government, already threadbare, seemed to snap. The myth of untouchable power at the top was shattered, and for the first time, the possibility of a prime minister brought down by the judiciary became real. Will Starmer weather this storm, or does this mark the final act of his leadership? As you watch, ask yourself, can any prime minister survive when their own party falls silent, and the very legal system they once championed now brands them unfit for office? The fallout was instant and brutal. Local Labour officials from traditional strongholds in the north broke ranks, calling the scandal a betrayal of everything the party once stood for. The word shame echoed from council chambers to social media, and even Starmer's closest allies began to draft letters of no confidence. Is this the end of the Starmer era, or merely the beginning of a much deeper crisis in British democracy? The answer seemed to shift with each passing hour. Meanwhile, outside Downing Street, protesters chanted and news outlets went wall to wall, dissecting every leaked memo, every resignation, every new allegation. One revelation in particular, a six-figure wire transfer to a Luxembourg account just before Starmer became Labour leader, detonated like a political bomb, raising the spectre of offshore tax avoidance. How could the nation's former chief prosecutor now be the target of a criminal probe by the very agency he once led? The irony was as thick as the public anger. Political rivals pounced, some called for Starmer's arrest, others for a snap election, while Labour's deputy leader solemnly declared, "No one is above scrutiny, not even the Prime Minister." With major donors fleeing and the serious fraud office circling, Starmer retreated behind a wall of NDAs and silence. Cabinet chaos, frantic legal briefings, and unprecedented security measures signaled a government on the brink. Now, with the Speaker of the House struggling to maintain order and the judiciary warning of obstruction, one question overshadows everything: can a leader condemned by the highest court still claim the moral authority to govern? As Scotland Yard officers quietly enter Downing Street and Labour MPs denounce a man they once defended, Britain faces a reckoning not seen in generations. The fate of Keir Starmer, and perhaps the future of British politics, hangs in the balance. So, what happens next? Will this crisis restore faith in democracy, or will it plunge the nation deeper into distrust? If you want to follow every twist of this unprecedented drama, smash that subscribe button, because the next chapter is coming, and it promises to be the most explosive yet.